Hey man, what's happening? Hello, people out there in the world of podcasting, radio, listening, driving to work, driving to school. Just kidding. No one's doing that anymore. Doing anything. You just got a divorce. You're leaving your significant other. You just got kicked out of the house. You just got out of jail. Man, you might have just gotten out of jail and you're on your way home. You might be on your way to rehab. You might be just got out of rehab. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to hopefully make your day a little bit better. Just to add a little spark, just to add a little bit of knowledge, just to add a little bit of ruminant thinking. Hopefully I can say something that provokes, is provocative to your neurons and can lead to a exploration of your mind, and it can allow you to explore thoughts that you've never ever once thought of before, like an idea of, well, if alien Earth lived here in this Earth that we live on, would it make itself appear right in front of our eyes, or would it just manipulate us in ways to make us kill each other? Who knows? You guys don't think about this. Maybe you do. I don't. Sometimes I do, and then when I do, I say it. But happy Thursday, guys. Happy December 10th. We have 15 days until Christmas. Holy shiitake mushrooms. That's insane. 15 days until the days of Christmas. You know what? Next podcast, I'm going to pull in the video camera. I feel like you guys should be able to see the pores of my face. I feel like you guys should be able to see me better. It's wild. It's crazy to think that this show has gotten to the point now where I know certain people watch the episodes and they don't ever talk to me about the episodes. And it's a weird thing. Like, I had a run into, not today, but earlier this week, and I know this person watches my episodes. They comment on them all the time, like in person. And in addition to that, I also have analytics, so I know who listens to the show. And it's really funny because you're waiting for them to say something, but they don't say anything, and it's like confusing, and I don't know what to do with that. I have no idea how to maneuver around that, but it's a strange thing, man. It's gotten to that point now, like, not saying that the podcast is that big, but what I am saying is that people listen, people hear it, and people probably have their opinions on it, but the opinions are never going to come out, which I think is a good thing, because that means I'm not saying things that I shouldn't say, or it's a bad thing because it's just it's a terrible podcast, which is totally possible. Like, it totally could be possible. It totally could be possible that for the last year and a half of my life, I've just been wasting my time on nothing. But I think that's super important for me to realize, like, to know that you don't want to do something, you have to do it, and I think for me, that's the best way that I learn not to do something. But I digress. 15 days until Christmas. It's aggressive, man. It's aggressive. I've been making announcements to everybody. Hey, just so everyone knows, I'm not going to be getting gifts this year for anybody. You guys don't get gifts from me. Please don't get any gifts from me. I don't want any gifts from anybody. I don't want any cash. I don't want any gift cards. I mean, what's a gift card? What are you going to get a gift card to? The whole gift card industry is out of business. What are you going to do? Send someone to Wawa? How many gift cards can you get from Wawa? I know for myself, if I get Wawa gift cards, it's literally the best gift in the world. I always tell people, if they ask me what I want for Christmas, it's Wawa gift cards or cash. Wawa gift cards, always the number one thing. There's nothing better. And I'm pretty sure people on the West Coast know what a Wawa is, but a Wawa is let me see, West Coast version of Wawa. It's the second thing. It's the second thing. Or It's the second thing on Google, or it was just listening to me. Is Wawa on the West Coast? Nope. Is there equivalent? Here we go. This is from Reddit. So this guy says, I'm from the East Coast. Is there equivalent to Wawa here? I miss getting late night subs and mac and cheese, etc. You will not find any comparison as heavily as Wawa. Sadly, no. The best I can do is have Trader Joe's mac and cheese at home. Ugh. Sheets. This person talking about Sheets on the East Coast. Okay, here we go. So this guy says, some people really effing love those mac and cheese bites at Del Taco, but I don't. Del Taco is definitely not anything like Wawa. Del Taco. Do we even have a Del Taco here? Yeah, we do. We have a few around here. Oh, that's not. That's a Tequila El Sabor de Parque. I sound like such an idiot trying to speak language that I don't know. Del Taco mac and cheese bites. Whew. How? Those sound ridiculous. Oh my God, look at those suckers. They look so basic, but so delicious. But yeah, Wawa. Why was I talking about Wawa? I don't know why I was talking about Wawa. Oh yeah, Wawa gift cards. Yeah, Christmas. That's the thing that I want. I want those. I want gift cards. But besides that, man, Christmas I think it's not canceled this year. I wouldn't go that far to say, but I feel like it's gonna be a severely less celebrated holiday than it has been. I think there's a few things that I'm pondering. Christmas is canceled. That's a hilarious title. I'm gonna put that down real quick. Christmas is canceled. It's a for a few reasons. Money, people aren't working right now. Like unemployment's slowly been going down. Like percentage wise, the percentage has not been increasing, so unemployment has been decreasing, and that's a good thing, right? People are going back to work. The one I think they did put out a number. I could be misrepresenting what I saw, but I'm pretty sure they put out a number where opening of jobs increased, but weren't being filled, which means people are being given the option to go back to work, but not going back to work. And I'm pretty sure this is an important thing to talk about, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it. We run off this assumption that people work, or almost that they want to work. Not trying to say that. Yeah, we run off this assumption that people work. Not that they want to work, but the assumption is they have to work to make money to afford to live. And I think that right now coronavirus is really flipping that narrative kind of upside down. And what do I mean by that? I mean that people are living off of unemployment. People are starting to get by that way. People are starting to manage the money with just the minimal amount of money that they come in. I'm not a sociologist. I'm not a anthropologist, but I do kind of have this feeling that people will look for the easiest option, even if the easiest option isn't the most the highest level of comfort. And I think that statistic shows that people have opportunities to go back to work, but they're not going back to work, and that's dangerous. And I think that's a real issue. That's a real issue because it shows complacency. It shows complacency among the people. It shows, and this is just a number in the United States. It shows a totally a changing of mindset of what it means to be a citizen in this country. I think, by the way, I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it said. The job openings are there, but not getting fulfilled. And you would think that if once a job opening is opening up, people would pounce all over that. And I know there's a lot of different moving parts here. The first one being kids aren't in school. If kids aren't in school, parents can't go back to work, and that's something I think people did not take that into consideration when they thought it was a good idea to just shut down schools. I mean, there was a kid, that 12-year-old back in May. This is going to get really dark here, so if you're listening with somebody that you that's young and you don't want them to hear this, just turn this down real quick. I'll give you a few seconds here while I look at this fire coming out of this freaking blowtorch that I have in my room. Actually, let me light this new candle. I got this brand new candle. Today's Home, Seaside Memories. I can't spell. Oh, it's only got one wick. I don't care, though. Scented candle. I just got back from the beach. I told you guys that already. I love candles, dude. Candles are the best. A candle a day keeps the doctor away. I was like 20 years old when I realized that an apple a day, like the word apple in that phrase has no impact on the rhyme. If I'm blowing your mind, then you're dumber than me. Which is saying something. God, I have so many books I have to read right now. This is finals week, so I'm trying to get through finals week. And then I'm planning on reading. I'm going to try to read after finals week. So the end of the 10th, 11th, on the 11th of December, I'm planning to try to read at least 5 books by the beginning of next semester. And I have 1 year of school left. So I'm trying to just plow through it. Just get in and get out of school and get my freaking degree. I don't feel like a loser because I think I've learned a lot of lessons and I've been able to accumulate a little bit of money saving wise. And I don't feel like a loser. And I think that could just be a confidence thing, but I could also just not feel like a loser because maybe I'm not a loser, but I digress. But what I was saying is, I mean, it's not just, it's sad. Like that boy back in May, he took his life. Let me look that up. School kid, schoolboy kills himself. Boy dies of shooting. Yeah, here we go. Oh man, this is 5 days ago. I thought this one was back in May. See, this is so sad. December 4th, 2020. Happened in California. Family, friends, and classmates are in mourning after 11-year-old boy shot and killed himself during an online Zoom class Wednesday. Adin Lanos was in his 6th grade online class for Woodbridge Elementary School with the video and audio turned off when the gun was fired. Okay, so it was turned off. I'm not saying that that's better. What I'm saying is that it won't be as traumatic for the kids in the class. God bless his soul. That's horrible, man. Lana's sister heard the gunshot from another room and found her brother with a head wound. The sister, a middle school student, went back to her room and alerted her teacher to call 911. Police are investigating the shooting, but Lana's family says it was not suicide. Says it was not suicide. It was known how it's not known how Adin came into possession of the gun. And see, that's just, it's brutal, man. I'm not saying that. Yeah, so they're denying that maybe he was being bullied. Oh, this was back in 2019. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad to see, and these are effects that we're not even aware of, and I think that the number I was talking about, the jobs that aren't being fulfilled, it's not having kids in school means these parents can't afford to they can't work. They can't work. Someone's got to stay at home with the kids, and like in the worst situation, that could happen. That could happen. A kid get a hold of a weapon. Parents aren't home, or parents are working, but they're working from the house. Everybody's on Zoom nowadays. Everybody's in front of a computer. There's a responsibility that has to be assumed. That the parents have to assume that the kid's gonna follow when they're on the internet too. That they're not gonna go off the internet. And I don't know if teachers can like spy on you. I'm sure they can. I'm sure. My teachers see me use Quizlet. Not to throw myself under the bus, but also if my teacher listens to my podcast, hey, what's up, man? Give me an A. Also, if you do listen to the podcast, don't like this is that's cool. Thank you. But yeah, I find that to be super fascinating. That I think it could be dangerous. We could be going to a completely different world after this, where people just aren't trying to find jobs anymore, and and we're just relying on this income to come in. And I'm also not trying to downplay the severity of the situation that we're currently going through as a nation, as a world, as a whole species. Like, we're going through some serious stuff right here. And like Pfizer and Moderna, they just the Pfizer vaccine just came out, and even though it's FDA regulated, they say if you have severe allergies, there's 2 cases of people in the UK who they had quote unquote serious symptoms after the vaccine. And then they just put out a warning: if you have a very high level of allergies or hydroflaxia, anaphylaxia, I think it's called, when you have a reaction to something that you're allergic to, you got to be aware of the symptoms that could come from the Pfizer vaccine. It's just it feels like an unstable time, and we're all looking for stability, and we're all looking for something to grab onto. And it's who knows? Who knows? I think Christmas is going to be a beautiful Christmas. I think families are going to hopefully realize just how fragile this world is, and how fragile life is, and what it means to be a family. I think it's going to bring people closer. I think numbers are going to spike, but I think vaccines are going to be coming out. I know, at least for Maryland, Hogan announced on December 8th that vaccines were going to start coming out December 14th, which is astonishing. The frontline workers, people in the first responders, and we should be healing up here soon. We should be healing up. It's going to be a while. It's going to, hopefully by 2020, going into 2022, hopefully the country's back to normalcy. And I don't think it's going to be completely back by summer. I think you're going to have a residue effect, and I think the residue effect's going to be mask. I think people are still going to be, I think if you stop wearing a mask the day you're told you don't have to wear a mask, I think there's going to be a new class division of people in this country. I also think the government's not going to ever tell you to stop wearing masks, or I don't think they're ever going to come out and say, as of now, June 28th of 2021, we no longer mandate mask. I don't think they're ever going to do that. I think they're just kind of going to do what the government does and just allow there to be, gray areas, so they don't have to hold responsibility for anything, because that's what they're really good at doing. And yeah, I do worry about like a class separation thing, and it's probably not going to be that extreme, but it's also it's a real possibility. It's a real possibility. We know as humans that we, as a species, we divide people up by everything under the sun, everything from race to sex to eye color to education level. We literally have a chart called the IQ chart, where we divide you up on your IQ. You can and can't do certain things depending on where you are from this world. Culturally, it's not even just a race thing. Like, there's wars going on in Africa right now as we speak. People who have the same skin color, there's places in the Middle East where people have the same skin color, even the same, even the same faith, but just a different idea of what the faith is, and they just drop bombs on each other. It's not that simple. It's the way that Homo sapiens divide themselves up it's complex, and we, if there's a reason to do it, the unfortunate truth is it's probably already been done, and it's gonna continue to happen. I wonder if I can look that up. How long were masks worn after? How long did they wear masks in the night? How long were masks worn after the Spanish flu? I'm going to say 1918 pandemic. How long were masks worn? When mask wearing rules in the face, how long were masks mandatory in 1918? Stringent mask cities, San Francisco, which penalties range from 5. Damn, you can go to jail back in 1918. You went to jail if you didn't wear a mask. Have you guys seen those images? Mask wearers in 1918. Have you guys seen these images? If you gotta look at this. This is so what were masks made of? Did masks work? Was there a pandemic in 1918? Did masks work? Masks failed in 1918 to control the spread of influenza, but lessons learned from this epidemic should inspire us to wear a mask. This is fascinating. It's really interesting. Just how people say history repeats itself. I think this is more of an example than ever. There's wild pictures of masks in 1918, and just to think that we've been here before. The mask slackers of 1918. As the influenza pandemic swept across the United States in 1918 and 1919, masks took a role in political and cultural wars. This is 101 to 102 years ago. The masks were called muzzles, germ shields, and dirt traps. They gave people a pig-like snout. Some people snipped holes in their masks to smoke cigars. I love that. When you see people smoking a cigarette right outside of a restaurant while they have a mask on, or while the mask is hanging from their ear, I'm like, that's a unique person. Yeah, it's always been an issue. There's signs. This crazy picture of people. This lady. It looks like a lady and two guys. And they're just business casual people, and the lady has basically a poster necklace on. It looks like it's just a sticker poster thing, rectangle right on her chest. It says, "Wear a mask or go to jail." Here's another one. I can't read that. That's not in English. Whoa, this is crazy. A mask being worn by like a high class person. Anti-mask meeting. This is even crazier. Anti-mask meeting, January 25th, tonight, Saturday. I'm guessing this is 1918, Dreamland Rink. To protect against the unhealthy mask ordinance, extracts will be read from State Board of Health bulletin showing compulsory mask wearing to be a failure. Eugene E. Schmitz and other interesting speakers. Anti-maskers in 1918. It's just so unique how that works, man. Anti-mask league. Mass meeting ends in battle royale. Shocker. Kind of what's happening today. People just don't want to follow rules because I don't know what's up with these people who have this weird idea that putting like this right here, this is what's crazy. I love, freedom and all this cool stuff. I like all of it. I love the American spirit. I would much rather be here than any other country, but this idea that I don't think you guys even want to hear it, do you? We will not comply because of mask. People don't want to wear a mask and then they die because the virus is real and it will kill you, and it doesn't care about your political agenda, and doesn't care about who you are, and it just doesn't care. This is April 20th to demand that Governor Gavin Newsom ease coronavirus. April 20th, man. Seems like a year ago. It feels like a year ago. A police officer wearing a flu mask leads two men away from the ferry building in San Francisco in 1918. One guy's not wearing a mask. The other guy is wearing a mask. A person wears a protective mask while waiting for the bus in San Francisco. But yeah, I don't know. It's a fascinating year, man. It's gonna finish up. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. We got a vaccine. Economy's turning around. The market's kicking ass. If you have money in the market, dude, you did really well. It's probably gonna be a rough patch here to end up between now and the inauguration time for Joe Biden, especially since we still have Donald Trump trying so hard to overturn his election results. Every single time he tries to overturn something, he's just not making any progress. I think if there's two ways to look at it. If he wants to run for 2024, which he said he would, this is good for him. I think it's good for him because this is what his people want. This is what his cult wants, and I think it's going to lead to him having a much more even aggressive pace going into the 2024 election. I don't know where this country is going to be at the time. It's going to be this next year is going to be a fascinating year to see just the way the momentum turns, where things go, policy. I'm banking on marijuana being completely legal. I don't know how we are living in a world. And look, I don't even consume marijuana in any form. I never have. But I'm sitting here right now telling you guys the fact that marijuana is illegal in this country is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment, man. The reason why marijuana is I'm gonna look it up real quick. Why is marijuana? You can't even Google it illegal. Why is marijuana illegal? 1910. With the start of the Mexican Revolution, 1910. Okay, here we go. The short answer is racism. At the turn of the 20th century, cannabis, as it was then commonly known in the United States, was a little used drug among Americans. With the start of the Mexican Revolution, 1910, however, many Americans began to move to the United States. Many Mexicans began to move to the United States, and they brought with them the tradition of smoking marijuana, which is spelled with an H here, not a J. Here we go. This is disgusting. This is why it's illegal. Amid a growing fear of Mexican immigrants, hysterical claims about the drug began to circulate, such as allegations that it caused a lust for blood. Love to see who that came from. Probably like New York Times. I'm getting this all from Britannica, Britannica. In addition, the term cannabis was largely replaced by the angelicalized marijuana, which some speculated was done to promote the foreignness of the drug and thus stoke xenophobia. Marijuana sounds like a more traditional, I think, Spanish term than cannabis. So they're making it sound dirty because they're looking at Mexicans like they're dirty. Around this time, many states began passing laws to ban pot. Legal for medical use, legality. So this is as of now, legal for adult use. God, look at this is okay. So this is January 2020. It's still illegal. Not, and when I say illegal, I mean illegal in it's pretty yeah. When I say illegal, I mean illegal like you can't even consume it. Like you can't even consume it medically. Here we go. Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. That's one too many states. In the 1930s, Harry J. Anslinger, head of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, turned the battle against marijuana into an all-out war. Some believe that he was motivated less by safety concerns. The vast majority of scientists he surveyed claimed that the drug was not dangerous, and more by a desire to promote his newly created department. Whatever the impetus, Anslinger sought a federal ban on the drug, and to this end, he initiated a high-profile campaign that relied heavily on racism. Anslinger claimed that the majority of pot smokers were minorities, including African Americans, and the marijuana had a negative effect on these degenerate races. Degenerate races, that's what he called them, such as including violence or causing insanity. Furthermore, he noted, reefer, quote, reefer makes darkies think they're as good as white men, end quote. Perhaps even more worrisome to Anslinger was pot's supposed threat to white women's virtue. He believed that smoking pot would result in their having sex with black men. Oh my God, you're a piece of shit, Harry J. Anslinger. In the 1930s, this is what our country was founded on, and this is why I'm so excited to have the host or the guy I'm going to have on my podcast is going to speak all about this. And he is I'm very excited to listen to him just speak his mind because he's a brilliant, brilliant guy. He served as the first commissioner of the U.S. Treasury Department during the presidents of Hoover, Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, and Kennedy. Jesus Christ. He was part of everything. Aided by eager news media in such propaganda films as Reefer Madness, Anslinger eventually oversaw the passage of the Marijuana Tax Act in 1937, which effectively made the drug illegal across the United States. Although declared unconstitutional in 1969, it was replaced by the Controlled Substance Act the following year. The legislation is classified marijuana, as well as heroin, LSD, among others, as a Schedule I drug. That's absurd. Perhaps unsurprisingly, racism was also evident in the enforcement of the law. According to some studies, African Americans in the early 21st century were nearly 4 times more likely than whites to be arrested on marijuana-related charges, despite both groups having similar usage rates. Wow. Yeah, that's why marijuana is legal. It's not illegal for any medical reasons. It's not illegal for any other purposes besides the fact that it was this Harry Anslinger had a small wiener. He was scared of African American people. He thought that they were going to take his wife, and he thought that they were going to take over the world because he was very worried about them. He's a terrible person. Yeah, that he's quoted saying, "There are 100,000 total marijuana smokers in the U.S. and most are, excuse my French, Negroes, Hispanics, Filipinos, and entertainers. Their satanic music, jazz, and swing result from marijuana usage." That's disgusting. The music's amazing, dude. Jazz has made rock and roll, bro. This marijuana causes white women to seek sexual relations with Negroes, entertainers, and any others. Good God, he probably had the ugliest wife in the world. Marijuana's most moral entrepreneurs. That's rough, man. That's so disgusting. And then that created the war on drugs. I'm gonna ask the guest on my coming on my podcast about that. How marijuana, how these laws played a role on just everything about Harry J. Anslinger, founding commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics. Coloreds with big lips lure white women with jazz and marijuana. The Federal Bureau, the FBN, the Federal Bureau of Narcotics. Is that still around? No, okay. It dissolved in was agency established in Department consolidating. Became what? Anslinger retired in 1962, and it was succeeded by Henry Giordano. He was commissioner of the FBN until it was merged in 19 with the Bureau of Drug Abuse and Control, the agency of the Food Drug Administration. That guy's probably a piece of shit, too. The FDBC, the Bureau of Fed Drug Abuse Control, was formed as part of the United States in 1966. Bureau of Narcotics. How many countries is marijuana legal in? Just sad to see that you just can't consume something, especially when alcohol, like if I wanted to commit suicide right now if I wanted to kill myself, I could go out there and buy as much alcohol as I want, and I could just sit on my couch and slowly kill myself. I could just slowly die. But with marijuana, that wouldn't happen. I wouldn't die. You just don't die directly from marijuana. I think you shouldn't be starting until 21. I totally agree with that. I wonder if there's any connection of like poverty in the use of marijuana. Like if in a poorer country there's no tolerance of it. And the reason why I say this is because if I pull up this, I guess this very much a religious thing. So if you pull up this map right here on Wikipedia, map showing legal status of recreational cannabis across the world. Blue is legal. It looks like all of Canada, a lot of states in Amsterdam, and then there's a lot of states like Mexico. Mexico, it's illegal but decriminalized. I don't know what that means. You can't get arrested for it. You can do it, but you can't get arrested for it. I don't know what that means. This like light pink is illegal, but often unenforced. Illegal, so it's not allowed, but unenforced. So they just don't care. They just let you rip. Egypt, India. There's probably more like religious things. Like it's illegal in the eyes of the religion, but do what you do. And then illegal data taken from. So completely illegal. All of Africa besides South Africa, Egypt, and I think that's Morocco. All of the Middle East, all of Russia, Uzbekistan, Spain, or not Spain. What is that? The UK? I don't know what that is. Greenland, the Philippines, Australia, besides like one little, like in the middle of the country, you can do it. And then like one additional part. But yeah, I found that fascinating. It's really, that's cool to see. But yeah, guys, that's it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this podcast here. I just want to give a real quick shout out to my buddy, Brett. Thank you so much for the shirt. Support local businesses. If you guys can go ahead and buy anything from a local business, I have my cousin's shirt should be showing up here at my house any minute now. And if you can support local business, you have to right now. In an economy like this, we need to just constantly support the people who support us. But yeah, guys, episode 147 of the Michael Live Show. I'll catch you guys in episode 148. Until then, peace out. See you. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you guys next week, bright and early on Tuesday. Peace out. See you.